Alright, it's race week. We're still here in Ventura. This is our last day. It's Wednesday. This evening we'll try to fight LA traffic when it's died down a little bit and make it to Oceanside. Then the fun begins. Swim. I'm gonna do a bike. Paul's got to run. I'm not racing if you didn't know that already. Just on support mode. Okay, it's been a super full day. Got our swim in, I got a ride in, Paula ran, and van is packed up to the brim, and we're headed to Oceanside. It's time to say goodbye to Ventura. Big weekend of racing, and then I think we're driving back to Bend at the end of all of it. So. And full focus this week is just making sure Paula's ready to go. We're gonna be doing a little group run and coffee hangout tomorrow afternoon, Thursday before the race, like we did last year, minus the podcast recording. Still hope to see a bunch of people out there. Okay, I gotta backpacking. 2 more bikes to go on the back of the van. Now we're set. Alright, in a super fun turn of events, last night we showed up to our hotel and they did not have our booking. Apparently, I don't even know the entire story. The front desk was incorrect. Our booking ended up being there, but they didn't have it under our name, so we ended up going to a different hotel. And when we got to that hotel to try to get a room, they did not allow dogs, so we just ended up sleeping in that hotel's parking lot. And now we're getting bagels. Stop number 2. Of shirts sticking together, or what is this plan?
Meanwhile, I'm a waitress at the coffee store, stuffing sketches into the apron I wore. After my shift, I'll be for sure. Oh, you got me
I can't believe we actually got it yesterday.
I can't either. How you feeling about the race?
I'm feeling really good, especially because I'm not doing it.
How are your predictions for your feelings?
My feelings are going to be screwed up, as they are always when Paul is racing, because it's hard to watch your friends race when they're doing something really hard.
Yeah, it's like watching your friends torture themselves.
It's exactly like watching your friends torture themselves.
But then they
watching your friends torture themselves.
But then they might come out the other side in a good mood, and then you're just left there to deal with having tortured yourself.
It's funny. She doesn't really come out the other side in a bad mood. Maybe last year she wasn't so happy, but she got over pretty quick.
Yeah.
We talk about it like she's not right there.
Guys, I'm right here.
Whoops.
No, I was really sad after this race last year. And I was like, I'm never f***ing coming back to this race. And then here I am back.
I'm the only one who figured it out.
Eric's the smart one here. No, it's really like every race I did after this race, I raced okay, so there was nothing to be mad about.
Right.
But for this race...
So let me ask you, if tomorrow goes horribly wrong, do you feel like you're going to be more chill about it? I think you are.
This race, I could get a penalty, I could get a flat, no problem.
I also think you race best when you have that kind of mindset, so...
Would be sick to do great. Also,
Would be sick.
not
You know
afraid
what?
of doing not
The only
great.
thing I don't want to happen is to get beat by Taylor by like 15 minutes. That would just be really annoying. But it could happen. It could definitely happen.
15 minutes is a bit extreme.
Yeah, I don't think 15.
Maybe 6.
Maybe 7. There we go. Pre-race predictions with the whole team.
You got me feeling free, and that's for sure. Oh, you got me feeling free, and that's for sure. Oh, you got me feeling free, and that's for sure. Blurred by bright lights I've never seen before. The sweet guy I met.
Hey everyone, welcome to That Triathlon Life podcast. I'm Eric Lagerstrom,
I'm Paula Findlay.
and this is our triathlon podcast. After 8 weeks of us being down in California training and then going to 70.3 Oceanside, we are back to normal.
Yeah, it was my second kind of big race of the year. I did Miami in March, early March, which made it a little easier. Like all my gear was already kind of organized and ready to go, and you get the pre-race nerves out of the first race of having no idea how you're going to do. So I felt really relaxed going to this race. We'd been training in Ventura, obviously, so it was just a 2-hour drive. So it didn't really even feel like a race week. It just felt like we were kind of training through the week, and then bam, we're in Oceanside, and then bam, we're racing on Saturday. Yeah, it was pretty cold. I tried to approach it how I approached St. George in 2022 for World Championships when it was really cold then. And it was just staying as warm as I could. I had like 5 layers on my upper body, and I ran with like my puffy vest and my puffy jacket over top of that. So my core body temperature was actually quite warm. And the point where I got cold was when we had to be in our wetsuits with no clothing waiting for the start. I think I'm swimming well, but I made like a technical error, and I'm usually just flatlining the swim so much that I can't even really recognize when an error like this is made. But I was beside Kate actually, and she got on Taylor Nibb's feet and on Fenella's feet with the lead pack, and Grace Alexander, who's a really good swimmer, was also kind of with us. And I thought, every time I'm on Grace's feet, I have a good swim. So I got on Grace's feet, but Grace let a gap open to Kate. And then I was just touching Grace's feet like it was not hard. So I was like, shoot, I can swim faster than this. So I went around her, and at that point, those other 3 girls were gone. So it's just a little bit of the nature of like having so many women at the start and different speeds of the first 200 meters. But I missed that front little group. And I think that if things had gone differently at the start and I was like on the feet still, I could have stayed with them for the whole swim. They had to swim in the harbor, so you go out and then U-turn and come back into the sunrise. And I am not kidding you, you can't see anything. It's like so scary. So all I could really see was like the sea of pro men that we were slowly catching because they had 3 minutes ahead of us. At least we had them to kind of guide like direction off of, but honestly it was I knew this was coming. This happens every year at Oceanside, but it's really, really hard to sight. I thought it would be super cold, which it was on the bike. So I wanted to put gloves on. But when I got to my bike, Taylor Nib was still standing there messing around with her bike. So I was like, wow, if I don't put any clothing on or any gloves, I can exit transition with her and see how long I can ride with her, whether that's 2 minutes, whether that's 20, whether that's an hour. But I was like, man, that would be really dumb to not put gloves on. So I lost her by 20 seconds or whatever. And my feet were like pegs. I could not feel them. I couldn't get my feet in my shoes. Everyone experienced this, I'm sure. It was just so cold. But yeah, once I got my feet in, I just started riding and I was kind of alone the entire way. A few pro men passed me. I passed a few pro men, but other than that, it was like a completely lonely course. The roads are in such bad shape. It really like threw me off the first 30 minutes of the race because I think that's where the roads are the worst. When you're going that fast in aero, hitting a hole can be catastrophic. That wasn't great, but I lapped my watch at like 30 minutes. I was like, okay, just restart, refocus. Who cares how much time you've lost? Then it felt a little bit better, but still like no feedback of where I was or where anyone else was. Yeah, I caught Findlay with about 25 or 30K to go, I'd say. And I could tell I was riding the uphills stronger than her because that's where I would kind of catch her as I could see her in the distance. So right when I caught her was actually on a climb, and there was a couple more climbs where I could kind of shake her a little bit, but then she'd catch back up on the descents because I suck at descending. So I just kind of like came into transition with her. And I think the top age group guy also caught us at the very end of the race as well. So saw a few other souls out there, but for the most part it was alone. Okay, on to the run. I came out of the run with Fenella. I had a pretty good transition, unlike me, to have a pretty fast transition. I don't know, every time I start the Oceanside run, I'm like, here we go, here comes the death march. Let's get started. But this time I didn't feel awful. I was kind of just like running super controlled. And another thing on the bike is because of the crazy nature of the bad roads and the hills, I didn't take in as much nutrition as I should have. So I really tried to like front load on the run by taking like 2 Mortons right away and water at everything. And so as the run progressed, I actually felt better because I think I compensated a little bit at the start for what I missed on the bike. I mean, Fenella can have really great runs, not like a Tamara Jewett where you're like, okay, see you later. So I knew that if I was running well and maybe she, I don't know, wasn't running as well as she can, then I could put a gap on her. I heard Emma was only 2 minutes back, and that was super annoying because I knew she'd probably catch me. But she caught me, and then I thought, okay, just stay in third. And I had a pretty big gap back to fourth and was putting time on most people. She actually didn't put that much more time on me as the race went on. I think she only beat me by 30 seconds in the end. So I think she really worked hard to catch me and then kind of stayed the same. Everyone on course was like, she's right there, you can catch her. And I'm like, no, I can't catch her. But I was not far back from her and I could see her and her biker person that was beside her the whole time. So she may have been kind of just playing that controlled as well and just putting enough of a gap to come second, but not enough to put herself in a huge hole because none of us were catching Taylor. So I was comfortable in that spot. The thing about Oceanside is that the second loop is actually quite a lot more fun because there's all the age groupers out on course at that time. So I kind of use them as momentum, like you're running past them so you feel fast and then they're all cheering for me. It's amazing. So I really enjoy the second lap a lot more than the first lap, even though technically you should be more tired and hurting more at that point. I actually felt a little better and I had the extra motivation from everyone around me. So I thought that was, a little more fun as the race went on. Actually, the most helpful advice I got from anyone on course was from Jordan Blanco. And she told me as I had about like 8 or 9K left maybe. And she said, Grace is 2.5 minutes behind you, but she's only put a minute into you so far. And I'd run 11 or 12K at that point. So that was like, oh, okay, she is running faster than me, but she's only put a minute into me and I have less time to go. And I have 2.5 minutes as a buffer. So that information was so useful to me and gave me a lot of confidence.
Nice job, babe. Nice race. Solid. job.
So yeah, I crossed the line in third, pretty close to second, had a good buffer on fourth, and it was fine. Did I want to go better? Yes, but it's okay. I had this realization afterwards that I'm like, okay, if I put myself in this position 5 or 10 years ago when I'm just constantly injured, can't even race, can't even get through a run, and I'm podiuming at Oceanside, like that is a good day. So I cannot be mad about this. Who cares how much faster Taylor Knibb went? I was racing with Emma, one of the best 70.3 athletes in the world, Fenella, one of the best Ironman athletes in the world. I had a pretty good day. I ran faster than I ever have on that course, so I'm not mad about it by any means. But I think as athletes, your nature is to pick apart everything that maybe didn't go well so that you can do better next time or just learn from it. So on the bike, I think I made some errors, and I definitely can improve in a lot of areas. Things that are very easy to fix, like gearing and being more brave through bad conditions, but also things like riding more steady and not having these huge surges and drops in power. So I don't know, I'm not saying I had a terrible race. I'm just analyzing what I didn't do great. I actually am looking forward to St. George in 4 weeks because I really like that course a lot. And I think it suits me better. I've had good memories there. I've figured out every single turn and everything on that course like so meticulously. So yeah, that was that. I think heard the most cheers I've ever had in my life on that course. So many people yelling "Go Paula!" Like it was just crazy. I think like as you're running counterflow to age groupers, like they're all yelling at me as I'm going this way. So it's just like the craziest, coolest thing to have them notice that I'm coming, take the energy out of their breath to say that while they're racing. Like that's really cool. So if you were there, thank you very much. And thank you to Eric and Nick for cheering for me in the minute of, you guys were doing like a freaking run workout.